It's your boy DC making this video. I guess I titled it something like influence YouTube dating coaches had on me over the years. And just to also be like a self-help video with any young guy that was struggling with the same situation. All right, I'm gonna start off this first by saying confidence. That's the most important trait you're gonna have when it comes to dating and dealing with women, regardless. I guess I would say if I look back at mine, growing up, just being told you're cute and stuff like that. Oh, he's handsome, all this as a boy. I guess that it internalized after a while. You start hearing that shit, and then of course, my hair, which I need a fucking haircut, by the way. When they tell you things like, "Oh, you got that good hair, pretty hair." I mean, I don't give a fuck about all that shit. Hair is hair. We African American. We come with different textures of hair. It's whatever. So, with that being said, I've always, I don't know, I guess since 16 when I started feeling myself, I've always had the confidence to go up to women and approach them. Actually, then when I was younger, I was playing the numbers game. And of course, I was doing this throughout high school and well on into college. And fellas, contrary to what your mothers or women in your family teach you, your beta dads, it's all wrong. Life gonna tell you otherwise. Dealing with these women, it's a different method of doing it. So when from high school and going into my 20s, I would say I would get numbers, which getting a girl's number is nothing. So I would get women and set up dates, get dates or whatnot. But the problem with that was I wasn't having a lot of success. Yes, I was getting numbers, women call, this and that. But, you were also on the flip side of that, I was getting a lot of flakes. Just women just playing with you a lot of time too. I smashed a couple of women out of this too because I'm playing the numbers game. It's like pretty much like half and half. So in a way, I'm still kind of killing it. But on this, it was getting kind of frustrating. So, as I'm going on through the years, through my 20s, now we got content. I'm looking up things on YouTube, like, Google, like, why is this happening? Why girls playing games like this? Then, I stumble across some guys, I think it was on YouTube called Simple Pickup. So I was doing a couple of those things. Like I said, it seemed like I was getting a success rate with the women's, but the problem was I wasn't keeping the women, And then another YouTuber by the name Tariq, he had these things called like the mat lessons. So I was doing all that now. I mean, as far as getting girls show up on dates, now I'm not gonna lie, Tariq, he kind of cut the flakes down, but I was still having problems with, like when I had, now I'm getting the dates, but I'm having issues with a lot of these women coming over at a high success rate to come over to my crib, which, was frustrating. I had my own shit. Now I am, mind you, I'm bagging women now, but it's not going the way I want it to. It was like still was something missing. So I'm always researching like, what the fuck is going on with these damn women? So, I did a little more searching and I found Coach Corey Wayne. Now, Corey Wayne is not, I wouldn't consider him like a red pill coach. But I was getting a better understanding of why women was doing what they were doing. And okay, I accepted it. I kind of fell back a little bit. And some of his strategies, like I said, I think during this time I was having more fulfilling relationships at the time. But even with that, women would stay. I wouldn't keep a woman for like no longer than a year. So at this point, I'm tired at this point, just like being just dealing with relationship, kicking females out the crib or whatever. Because it's almost like, man, dang, they still not complying the way I need them to. So now I did a little bit more research, and just so happened this guy, I don't know, this guy was like God sent. This guy called AMS, Alpha Male Strategist. I ain't gonna say he changed my life, but he gave me a whole new look at. I could understand now, like, goddamn, the puzzle just came together why women was acting like they were. So pretty much, now after listening to AMS, I stopped going the whole, the way we was taught. Let's try to find, a woman, find a fulfilling relationship with. Because now I understood this before, but AMS put it together for me. I said, oh, okay, it's the female nature. They all like this. So I just kind of rerouted my game. I became what women and beta males and shit on here, they would consider me like an asshole. So when I went that route, I noticed not only, and I don't mean to put my baby mama out here like that, she was the first victim of this. I've noticed the retention rate of keeping these women was a lot longer. Like, I would have women around years, although we're not even in a relationship, because AMS don't preach about relationship. So I would have these women around. I'm fucking them, and they still staying around. And have other women to this day, like, for I was messing with some of these, like, what, in 2015, but yeah, I can, I take a break from them, but I can always go back and fuck with them. That's because, I implement this whole thing, like, I just don't care about relationship, red pill. And it worked. It worked for me, Any little, even when I meet new women, it's like I didn't know about shit tests or anything like that, man. Once I started passing that shit, I'm like, well, women test you and you don't even realize. And basically what I'm gonna say is, YouTube dating coaches, they serve their purpose on here. You say somebody like me, I didn't really need it, but the depth understanding is basically pretty much, how a female would think. Whether some of them realize they're doing it or not, it actually works. I mean, in my case, there were a whole bunch of women, single, married women. It just don't matter. The success rate is like when you focusing on yourself, they look at it as being selfish, but man, that's the best way to go. Of course, you're gonna lose. You're gonna lose. Some women just turned off by the idea, but majority, man, you focusing on yourself first. That shit always seem to work out. I got motherfuckers want me to marry them right to this day, but I refuse. Saying no is like yes. It's like doing everything the opposite of it. It's sad we gotta be that way because wasn't like that naturally. Well, it's becoming a part of me now, but it's almost like you gotta become this bad guy in order to have the success with women. And I didn't learn that until I started watching AMS. So shout out to AMS. All right, y'all, man. This your boy DC, man. I'm gonna sign this on out, man, y'all. For real.